everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Beverly. Lovely to see you. I hope that you will stick around, subscribe and all that stuff. But for today, I just wanted to kind of give a little bit of an update, really, more than anything. There's a lot of things going on with my health at the moment that's really just getting me down. So I just kind of wanted to come here and say what's happening. So when I first got sick, it was like 2001, somewhere around there. It took me 5 years to get diagnosed, and at that point they said I had multiple sclerosis, the same as my mum, which made sense. 10 years after that, the professor pulled me into his little office. That sounded way ruder than I meant it to. But he called me in and he was like, so you don't have MS, sorry about that. You do have neurological issues, we're not going to look into those. It's been too long, so bye. I think we were in there about 5 minutes maximum. It was horrific, really. So at that point, until that point I should say, I had the professor who, I'm not going to say his name, professor who is one of the leading people in MS apparently, so I've been told. I had him that I saw like every 6 months and kept a really good eye on me. He was good when he thought I had it. I had a nurse who I saw every few months, an MS specialist nurse, and I had physiotherapy at the hospital. I also had occupational therapy, and I also had a psychologist who was really good actually. She got me looking into mindfulness and meditation and all that kind of thing. She kind of changed my life where it came to anxiety. But almost the minute that my diagnosis changed, I was discharged from all of these services and kind of left. And that's been nearly 3 years now that I haven't had a specialist. I've just had my GP. I did see a specialist once, and I was again in there for about 5-10 minutes. She just like touched a couple of parts of my body. I yelped. She said, yes, it's fibromyalgia, bye. And that was that. I wasn't picked up by their service, nothing. So I haven't really seen anybody. I've seen physios a couple of times where I've been referred to them with what they think now is the beginning of arthritis. I'm getting a lot of pain in my joints and stiffness, and problems with my hands and my feet. Awesome, just awesome. So there's that going on. So I've seen physio a few times for that, and for the pain in my back and my shoulders. That is my fibromyalgia pain. But I haven't had any like full-on one-on-one regular doctor to see who's a specialist in my disease like I had before. Bearing in mind, it's the diagnosis that's changed, not the symptoms. So I'm still in as much pain, I'm still struggling to walk, I'm still exhausted all the time and need help. I still need my husband to be a carer. There's still times when I need help with things. None of that has changed, and it's just really hard to deal with just being dropped like that. It's been very hard. I kind of lost my faith in doctors, and I was a nurse before I got sick. But I kind of lost my faith a little bit. I stopped going to see my GP in protest. I was like, So I've kind of been on my own the last couple of years, and I've dealt with pain and stuff. I mean, I'm on the maximum amount of pain relief that you can be on now. Apparently I've been told there's nothing else they can give me. I've been told that by my GP and a pharmacist, which is hard to hear, because when you're still having breakthrough pain, it's like, but it still hurts. So I've had some new symptoms, as well as my joint pain, as well as times when my legs feel like jelly. I also have times where, well, my fatigue has got a lot worse, my pain has gotten worse. I'm having pressure migraines 2-3 times a week, and that's because of the pain in my shoulders and the back of my neck. It like makes everything cramp up and I get a migraine from it. I'm also having dizzy spells, my vertigo is worse, and just having a lot of neurological issues, like my socks, like my feet have been numb for years now, like a decade or more. But now I put socks on and it hurts, and I touch certain pieces of clothing and they're painful. And this is really hard to deal with, because you get to a point where you're like, I can't wear socks, and I live in England. How can you live in England and not wear socks? If anyone knows where you can get soft socks that don't cost like £30-40 a pair for cashmere or whatever, please leave me a link down below, because I need some soft socks and I can't afford those silly prices. I'm also having this thing where if I turn my neck too fast, or I look down or get up too quick, I see like lights around me. The only thing that it reminds me of is that sort of halo feeling just before you pass out, and then it kind of closes in on you. If anyone hasn't passed out, you can be like, what is she talking about? But trust me, that's what it's like. So yeah, all these new symptoms were getting worrying, and I was like, what about if I pass out or have a seizure or something? Like, I'm getting scared. So I went to see my doctor, my GP, and it was a new doctor that I saw. It's very hard to see a GP in my area. I think a lot of people in the NHS are finding the same. They keep building houses, but they don't give us any more doctors. Thank you, government. Because I can start off saying, oh, Conservatives, but they all do it to us. So I'm not even going to go there. But, so I went to see this doctor. She was a new doctor, and I think sometimes newly qualified doctors are kind of the best people to see, because they ask more questions, they dig more, they don't make assumptions as much as more established doctors, I've found anyway. And I explained everything I've just explained to you, and she was shocked. She was like, why don't you have a doctor? That's crazy. So she's referred me to a specialist for my fibromyalgia. She's referred me to a pain clinic. She's referring me to somebody. She's going to ask about treatments for my migraines, people who can help me with my shoulder pain. I have two friends, Louise and Lisa. Lisa has migraines a lot, and she was telling me that she has Botox in her scalp, which helps with the cramping, which stops the migraines a little bit. And Louise has fibromyalgia. She has a lot of shoulder pain, and she has injections in her shoulders to help with the pain. And I mentioned both these things, and she said she was going to talk to somebody about who she can refer me to for those things. So I do feel like finally somebody listened to me, and it's such a relief. Like, I came out of the doctors feeling no better, like she prescribed nothing, she gave me nothing. But I felt like a big weight was off me, because finally I felt like, you're not looking after your own symptoms. Somebody listened. Somebody's going to be looking after you. And that's a great relief. It was a relief to me and my husband Lee, who went with me, and I just feel thankful that I finally got to see a doctor. I definitely feel like things are going well for me at the moment. There's a lot of things happening in my life that I look and I go, oh, that's good. Oh, that's God working. I can see you. I see you. I see you. So it feels really good to know that my prayers are being answered, that people are listening to me finally, that things are happening and moving. So that's a great relief. Great, great relief. I am just, it's just like a weight off my back, to be honest. I want to say that as well, that I'm extremely thankful that I'm getting more willing to speak up for myself, more willing to be an advocate for myself, and it's something that I've struggled with for a long time, something where I can be quite quiet and shy when I'm with doctors and nurses and specialists and people, and they'll say something and I'll think in my head, my nurse's head will be like, if I was my own patient, I wouldn't allow my doctor to speak to me like that. And then I had to kind of stop and be like, but you are your own nurse. That is you. You need to do something. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for getting a bit more confidence. I'm pushing through my anxiety and just speaking up for myself, because that was it was a big thing for me to do, finally. I am extremely grateful for that, and I really encourage you all, if you're out there and you're a chronic illness warrior, speak up for yourself. If you don't agree with the way you're being treated by someone, by a doctor, a nurse, a physiotherapist, an occupational therapist, dietitian, doesn't matter who, speak up for yourself, because they're only human. They can make mistakes. Things can slip through the cracks with lots of different departments, people overworked, not enough paperwork or time or money or effort put into things. Things slip and things get lost in the cracks. So please just stand up for yourself. Be out there, be a warrior for you. I really encourage you all to do that. And yeah, that's what's going on with me at the moment. If you have any tips and tricks that you do to help with your migraines or your pain, leave them down below. I will try anything at this point. Also, if you have come across this thing that I'm having, where if I look over my shoulder too much or down too much or up too much, whatever, I get these lights. If anybody has any ideas what that could be, please leave a link down below. Please leave your writing down below, because it might give me something to suggest to my doctor when I get to see them. So yeah, hopefully more updates soon. I'll be recording a video in the next couple of days, which will be geeky. I'm doing a couple of reviews, so that is coming. I'll also be doing I've got a couple of other fun things planned for next week. So there we go, there you have it. I hope I will see you next time. Come on back. Bye.